foundation look good on texture? If your foundation has started to settle in your fine lines and texture, I just want you to know it's not you. You're not doing anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with your skin. And today I'm going to show you how to make your foundation look good on textured, mature skin. And no filters, nothing too heavy, no tricks or anything like that. I'm just going to show you exactly what primer and what foundation to use. I just want you to know texture is normal. There's nothing wrong with your face. Every face has it. We have pores, we have fine lines, and where face moves. The goal of foundation on mature skin is not to erase the texture. The goal is to even out the skin and let your own skin naturally come through so it still looks like you and still looks like skin. I can tell you the biggest mistake I see is people using too much foundation, especially on mature skin. They think they're going to completely remove any of that texture and kind of fill in the fine lines. And what happens is it just sits on the skin and it just really accentuates the texture. So heavy foundation is definitely not the answer. What you want to do is you want to start out with the smallest amount of foundation and just really put that where you need it. So use less of what you think you need. So I don't apply foundation evenly all over the skin. What I'll do is I will stand back, I will look at my skin, or if I'm doing makeup on a client, I will look at them and think, what needs to be covered, okay? What needs to be blurred out? And the goal is to really just even out the skin, not go on there and just kind of make it look like a blank slate. And I can tell you, one of the biggest issues is not wrinkles, it's not the texture, it's the darkness on the face. So if you have a lot of discoloration from either sun exposure or you have hyperpigmentation, that's really what's gonna age the face. It's gonna make it look darker and heavier. Okay, next we're gonna talk about primers. If you have areas that crease and you have deeper texture, one of the best primers that I know for filling in these areas is the SMASHBOX, this here. This is the Photo Finish Smooth and Blur Primer. This is a smoothing and blurring primer and it has silicones in it. So it's not a hydrating primer. So if you are struggling with a lot of texture and just dry patchy areas, I can tell you having a good skincare routine in place is going to be key for your foundation looking the best on your skin. Okay, and the key is using very little and pressing it into those areas where you need it. So I'm going to tuck my hair back and we're going to identify the areas on my face where I have texture increasing. And I can tell you right away that here, my mouth area is one of the key places I have issues with. Then if I crinkle up my forehead here, these two areas on my forehead are areas where I get a lot of texture too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take very little primer and put it on the back of my hand. I'm going to show you how little I'm going to use. Can you see how small amount of product that is? Okay, and I'm only going to press this into the areas where I need it. So I'm going to take this stiff brush here. You don't want anything that's too flimsy because we really just want to press the product into the skin. And we're just going to dab the brush in here like so. And then we're going to come up here. I'm going to see with my texture here, right here. And we're just going to take that and press it in there. Okay. And just to let you know, I already moisturized my skin and I went in and I put a serum over the end of it. And you want to make sure that when you moisturize your skin and put a serum in, that it sits in your skin for at least 20 minutes or so. Because you don't want to go in there with another product that's going to sit on top of there. And then when you go to put your foundation on, it's going to start pilling up because you're going to have way too much. So you really want that to be absorbed into the skin. Okay, so we got that there. We're going to go here. And I'm just lightly pressing that into the skin. Sorry, I gotta look over here to make sure I'm getting the right areas. And I'm gonna press that here. Now this is, right here is a big area. If I put too much foundation on or too much product, it will just collect in there throughout the day. And I'm gonna take any of the extra and just kind of brush that over where I have some pores and texture. But I'm not adding any more. You don't need too much. And I'm gonna use the Armani Luminous Silk. And I love this combination. It works really well for anybody who has a lot of texture on their skin and has large pores. But again, if your skin is dry, you're gonna wanna make sure that you go in there with a moisturizer because this is not a moisturizing primer. Why I love this foundation. It's a satin finish and it just sort of glides over the skin. It doesn't really settle anywhere and it's not fast drying. It just has a beautiful natural looking finish. Okay, so I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna put a pump on my top of my hand like so. And I'm going to take this foundation brush and I'm going to just press this foundation in the areas where I need it. There, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to start here in the center of my face. And I'm just going to start pressing this in. Because again, right, I don't want to put too much foundation on my creasing and texture. I really want to just kind of blend that in. Pressing and rolling, if you have a lot of texture, is key. You just want to kind of use the foundation brush in a rolling method. And that way it's really just pressing in there. Press it, roll it, and then we're going to go up here where the texture is, and we're just going to take that and press and roll it. Kind of go in there, and then in my chin, deep texture there. And then if I want, I can just kind of pull that out. I don't need to put anything else on there, just so it looks more blended on the skin. I can kind of roll my brush over it. And then you can see, now you can still see my texture, okay? It's not like you can't see it, but overall my skin looks more even, right? It doesn't look like I have a mask on. It just really looks more blurred and even looking. And then I won't have to worry about it settling into areas and kind of clumping up. If I have too much product on, that's what's going to happen. And we think we need to go in there and cover everything up, but we don't. We just need to go in there, just kind of camouflage that texture, because there's nothing wrong with it. We're supposed to have texture. If your skin does happen to get oily and throughout the day, what you want to do is take a finely milled powder if your skin gets oily, and then take it and put it on the puff, like so. Bang off any extra, and just gently go in there and press it where you need it, okay? And that will just kind of set it without it getting too heavy. There, and then you have a beautiful finish. Here are some extra ways that I work with texture. I don't need to use this on the entire face. I just need to use it where it really needs it. If your product is cold to touch and it's stiff, you want to go in there and warm it up in your fingers first, and then you can press it in. And I can tell you one of the key things for mature skin is you don't want it completely blurred out or have it look completely like flat. We want it to look more even, and we want it to have like a subtle, like radiant glow. What I don't do is I don't layer a bunch of foundation and more products on top of each other. Layering the skin, chasing perfection, and baking the skin, those things just really make mature skin worse rather than better. If your foundation looked better years ago, you didn't fail. You just need to kind of evolve and use a different type of technique that works better on your skin today. If you need help choosing the right skincare or the right foundation, I'm going to link 2 videos down below. One is on skincare for mature skin, and the other one is all about foundation. If you gained any value from this video, please consider subscribing, giving this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. And don't forget that I have my Mature Beauty Sunday series going on at 10 a.m. on every Sunday. And there's a free downloadable PDF linked below, and it's all about foundations that work beautifully on mature skin and that don't oxidize. So grab that and do yourself a favor. When you do open it up and look at it, take a picture of it, right? And then keep that on your phone. So the next time you're out and you happen to pop into a Sephora or an Ulta or Target, wherever you're at, you'll be able to look up these foundations real quick and see which one might work best on your skin. And I have them in all different price ranges. I have them from drugstore, I have mid-range, and then I have the higher end. All right, again, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.